I mean, this is now a good opportunity, I think, to talk about IEBC, where we are with that now. We know there's now a bill with JLAC. I mean, we had, once there were 7.
Now there
are 3. 4 commissioners have left. We remember Dr. Rosalind Akombe, then we remember the other 3 who left and then had a change of heart and tried to come back, and they were told, no, you've already made that decision. You have a president who is yet to declare.
Actually, we don't know whether they came back. Maybe they're somewhere in
the office. Fair enough.
No, we don't
Fair
know.
enough. Or whether they're in fact still on the payroll. So this gives us an opportunity to talk about IEBC and where we are with that, considering between now and 2022. Has there ever been a time in this country where we've had a lot of these issues? We have a census whose results we're waiting for that'll, bear greatly on an election. We have a boundaries review that we're waiting for. We have a possible referendum.
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Or even 3 if, what was it? Ugatuzi is an initiative. And we haven't talked about the elephant in the room. By then there will be 10 if Punguza Mizigo goes through. So, Lina, so where are we with that? I mean, all of this with IEBC still the way it was? First, 2017?
The 3,
worse, actually, possibly.
The 3 commissioners really deserve commendation for their ability to keep a straight face. You wouldn't tell that the IEBC is a depleted outfit by looking at those 3.
Okay, let me just say I felt that. Like, ouch. But carry on. Sorry.
The confidence is admirable. They're not admitting to the fact that it's not functioning as properly as it should. And I'll be talking more later about the IEBC in my kicker, because I think it's been handled irresponsibly. From the time the election was nullified and the big fallout that came after that, nothing has ever been done to fix the gaps that have arisen there. Have we even substantively filled the position of CEO? That has not been done substantively. So what we have there is a makeshift organization, and I think it can run the Kibera election. But referendum and the 2022 election, I think
isn't it interesting,
taking too much of a risk.
Yeah, isn't it interesting, Joe, that we are discussing all of this? Even one of the people that raised some serious issues about it before the repeat presidential election, that's Raila Odinga, had talked about all of these serious issues within IEBC, is now comfortably talking about a possible referendum to be conducted by who? The same IEBC he has cast such doubt and aspersions on?
I mean, it's probably a handshake IEBC at the moment, I think, because there was a truce.
So all you do is just put handshake before everything, and that's fine.
There's a truce that was placed in front of everything that we do now. But I think more fundamentally is the fact that there were serious issues raised, not just by Raila Odinga, but even by people who worked in the commission. Dr. Rosalind Akombe left the country, escaped quite literally, and raised some serious issues about the IEBC. Chebukati himself, together with the depleted team, they did a self-audit and they gave reports that needed to be implemented. They talked about, for example, the need to replace commissioners at least 2 years before the election. They talked about the need to stagger them so that they don't all leave at one go.
And he talked about political external interference. I remember that.
Now, we are here talking as if nothing is going wrong, and yet in another year or so we can go on like this, and in another year or so then we'll all come like it's an emergency, and then we probably will end up with people who are inexperienced, who don't know what's going on in the commission, and they get into the same trouble. I mean, I'm gratified that there is at least some I saw a bill that is currently going before Parliament by the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the National Assembly in an attempt to sort of jumpstart the process to put in place a selection panel and all that, and create a mechanism through which this can be done on a continuous basis. We cannot have a situation that exists where if someone leaves the commission, then we don't know how to replace them. There's no job that has no exit clause, that when you leave there's a crisis. Every job that is worth doing has a way to get out of it and for someone to be replaced.
And it's interesting that apparently the law requires the president to declare those positions vacant. Which is what Kaluma MP is saying. He wants to try and change that, because the president is yet to declare all of those 4 positions vacant.
Actually,
should we have to
did he even receive a resignation?
There's a serious question that needs to be raised. When the 4 commissioners tell us they resigned, did the resignation letters reach the president?
Right.
Exactly.
And if they did, what did he do with them?
About us, yeah.
Because if he did, ordinarily he ought to have told Kenyans, these guys have resigned, I received their resignation letters, and so there are vacancies, and so let us now replace them. But you see, there exists no law currently to replace the commissioners.
Yeah.
The law that existed was for the appointment of the current team. There was no procedure, there was no mechanism of replacing any of them in the event they exited. And that's why we are in the situation we are in currently. Maybe because the situation now seems calm after the handshake, wouldn't it be a good opportunity to take advantage of that
and fix the issues? Okay.
Not only the commission, but other electoral issues.
Right, yeah, because it's a whole buffet of issues. So